Welcome back to Garden Rewards. So this week I'm collecting my pruners from the shed because the task in hand today is to prune my roses, and I'm a bit late doing it. Usually I like to do it by January, February time, but because of the weather, we've had so much rain and I've been to work, it's hard to find the ideal time to do it. So today I really want to crack on with it and get it done. Tidy up a little bit of the borders, being a bit careful because I've got my daffodils and tulips coming through, and also I've got some bearded iris. Probably tomorrow I think I want to thin it out a little bit. I've had a word with my local church. There's some lovely volunteers that take care of the garden there, and I've asked them if they want some bearded iris, so they've said yes please. So I've got to put that in a certain place for them, ready for Monday. I think they go there Monday afternoons to take care of the garden. So I've got to do that. I've got a lot of things going on in the side wings that are ready to be done, but because of these spring flowers coming up, I can't actually do it because I've got some lovely plants to go in and a new rose which will become clear in my next video. So I've got a lot of things going on, and I've also almost completed my spring table in the house, sort of spring slash Easter. So I want to show you that. I've just got to get some more little flowers to put in bud vases. So I'll let you have a look at that so far. But just let's crack on with it and get a few things done and tidy up the borders a little bit. So this is a before of how the roses look. This variety is David Austin Vanessa Bell, and the one behind is Roald Dahl, and I'm aiming to cut about a third off them. Most of the roses are 3 years old. There's a couple that is 2 years old, and I'm just going to take a bit off them and to give them a good shape, but I'd highly recommend these two. Another David Austin rose, and this is a whiter shade of pale, and I'm aiming to cut off any dead, dying, diseased or damaged stems and anything that won't support a flower, like this little stem here. And also if there's any branches that are crossing, then I'll have to cut one out to stop them rubbing together. So that one is Vanessa Bell, and that's trimmed back to a lovely shape. Also, this one here is Roald Dahl, and they're both lovely roses. I highly recommend them. This one is Boscabel, another good one as well. And this is all the new growth here, and the old tubers there. When you're thinning them out, you really need to get rid of the old ones and keep the new. But I've got so much here, I think the church will love it. And this one's called Indian Chief. Another one I highly recommend because the blooms are absolutely beautiful. But as you can see, it's all getting quite big. And also I noticed the lupins are looking quite healthy at the moment. This is one you've got to watch for aphids because they love them, so you've really got to spray them once you see the aphids. But it's all looking really healthy, and these were planted in last year from the nursery. And these I noticed last year had spider mite, and I was going to trim them up into different shapes and put them in pots in the garden, but they've all got spider mite and they don't look very good still, so I'm not going to hang on to those, so they're going in the garden waste bin. Right, so now all that's done, let's go inside and have a look at the dining table. Right, so these are the bud vases that I'm using, and I did decide to go to my local shop and buy some flowers. These are Alstroemeria, and I think they look really lovely because at the top of the stems are these beautiful leaves, and I think they'd be ideal. And I've decided to use some blue food dye in the water, not particularly to dye the flowers, but I thought it would just tie in with my table, and I thought it would look really lovely, so I thought I'd put a few drops of the blue dye in and add water. So next I'm just cutting all the stems to the same length and taking off any lower leaves, as I don't want these going in the water. Don't they look so pretty? And as the flowers open, I think it'll just look even better. So I've decided to place them around the candle. The candle itself is battery operated, and I haven't changed them since I used these candles at Christmas. I think they are a lot safer than normal candles, especially if you've got children in the house. And when we come to eat over Easter, I'm going to replace them with real candles. But at the meantime, in the evening, I think they look really lovely flickering, and obviously they're not dangerous because they're battery operated, but I think it looks really lovely and very effective. So I've decided to use the cotton napkins and place the paper napkins on the top that match the bunny rabbits, and the hydrangeas and the tulips in the centre there are all artificial, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.